Hello there, welcome back to my channel. I want to start off first with a heartfelt thank you for all of your love, your prayers, your support last week. It was a very difficult week and the emotions are still a little bit raw, but I really missed you all and I missed just having fun playing with makeup. And as I was contemplating today's video, I thought about my week last week and because our last happened leading up to Easter and my husband is a pastor of a small church, I'm the music director, we had obligations, not only our normal ones, but extra. And so even though I wish I could have stayed home all week and not gone out the door and sat on my couch with my box of Kleenexes, I couldn't do that. So that gave me the idea for the look today, because I know many of us have those days where we're feeling down in the dumps. Maybe it's due to loss, maybe it's just we've had a bummer of a week, and I feel truly that there is power in makeup, and not only in certain products that you choose or colors, but just how it can really boost your mood. And for me personally, even the application of makeup is very therapeutic. So we're gonna get started today. I've pulled out what for me is happy makeup. And so that's what we're gonna do today. If you're new here, I would love to have you as a subscriber. Hit that button below. And now let's get started. I've already applied my moisturizer and sunscreen, and I also did a little extra eye cream with my little silver roller ball thing here. This is a great tip if you have puffy eyes. The caffeine in this eye cream really does wonders. So next I'm going to add a little bit of eyeshadow primer. I picked up a new tube of this Smashbox 24-hour Photo Finish eyeshadow primer. Next, I'm going to go in with foundation. And for me, something that is mood boosting and confidence boosting is when my foundation, my skin looks flawless. Not heavy, but flawless. And so I'm using my Bare Minerals Bare Pro Liquid Foundation. I've mixed Sandstone 16 and Warm Light 07. And I'm gonna apply it though with a beauty blender or beauty sponge. This is just the Beaky Beauty sponges from Amazon. And I'm using this because it's going to help lighten up the coverage and the look on the skin just a little bit, but it's going to even out all the redness. I've had extra redness, you know, when you're emotional, you have extra redness around the nose area and the cheeks. So this just kind of helps even things out, but I love the look of this foundation, especially on my skin. It really does help minimize the look of pores and just keeps things looking great and even all day. Now let's go back to the eyes, and the eyeshadow palette that I pulled out is the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. This palette, when I open it up, it just makes me happy. I love all the colors in here, but you don't have to do anything wild and crazy. So even though I get to look at all these crazy fun colors, I'm gonna keep it actually pretty toned down today. At least that's my plan. So I'm gonna start off with this cream shade right here, which is Momentum. I'm using the Sigma E50 and just putting this under the brow and to kind of the top of the crease. And then next I'm going to take the Morphe M504 and we're going to go in with this peach shade right here. You can't really see my top, but I've been inspired by the colors in my top. It's turquoise and peach are one of my favorite kind of happy color combinations, not only in clothing, but in makeup too. So as I was contemplating what to wear, what makeup to do, I thought, you know, I usually do either pink and purple or peach and turquoise, and I thought today is a peach and turquoise kind of day. So just putting this all the way through my crease, and you can see this color is so pretty and just happy and spring-like. Next, I'm going to use the Sigma E25, and I'm going to do a combination of these two shades right here. So the one, it's Karma and Hot Mess. I was a hot mess last week. Oh my goodness. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this in the outer corner. And I just love the combination of the warm brown with a little bit kind of those rosy tones. I just think it's such a pretty combination. And then I'm going to go in with just a little bit of the Karma shade, because I don't want my eyes to look overly red. Trying to find that, you know, nice little balance between kind of bright and fresh and not look like I've been crying. So we're gonna just put this in the outer corner. And then I'm gonna go down to this tiny little Angie Hot and Flashy brush. This is the A504. I'm gonna do a little bit of this deepest shade and that Karma shade. So Karma and what is this other one? Vortex. And I'm just going to use a tiny little touch of this right in the outer corner. And I'm going in with a small brush so that I can really control how much I'm applying. And this brush has a little bit of fluffiness, so it's also helping to kind of control how much pigment there is. So you can really just slowly build there just a little extra depth on the outer corner without going overboard. Don't worry, we're going to clean up the outer edge in a moment, but let's go to our lid shade. And this is another part of this palette that really makes me happy. So I'm going to do a combination of these two shades. So I'm starting off first with Galaxy. Oh, these shimmers in this palette are just amazing. And I really find that with most of these shades, at least these two that I'm using, you don't get fallout on your cheeks. They cling together very well, cling to your lid very well. And you know, I think I might just leave it with just that color for now. Yep, we're gonna leave it with just this shade. So I did not add any of that shade. And I'll just go back with the E25 from Sigma and quickly blend through. Okay, now on the lower lash line, another trick to help the whites of your eyes look a little bit whiter is to use a navy somewhere in your eye look. And so I'm going to use a navy eyeliner. This is Sabbath from Urban Decay. And I am just going to put this right kind of on the outer edge here. I'm going to top it with a little brighter shadow. So I'm just going to start there and kind of place that about halfway along the lower lash line. And then on top of that, I'm going to make it a little more turquoisey. So we're going to go in first with this shade, which is Haze. And again, I personally love the combination of turquoise and peach. I just think it's a happy combination. And this is a less scary way to use blue eyeshadow or turquoise eyeshadow. And then let's just go in with the shadow right next to it. This is pretty dark, so I'm going to use this just right over here. I'm in the outer corner. Has a little more blue. Just kind of like painting, you know? Adding in some fun, unexpected little pops of color. And then I'll take a little more of that turquoise shade a little bit further in. Okay. And then on the upper lash line, I think I'm just going to use a little bit of shadow from our palette today. So I'm going to go back to this shade right here and a Sedona Lace. This is the 561, just kind of an angled, thin angled brush. And I'm just going to put this right here into the roots of the lashes. And one thing that I learned is that when you've been crying a lot, you know, the upper lash line gets a little puffy and sometimes it's a little difficult to keep mascara off of it. So using a little bit of shadow along the upper lash line can help disguise any of that mascara that might get on there. All right, and then I'm gonna go back to this shadow right here, or this shade, which is Karma. Just kind of use a little bit of that here going towards the inner corner. Just again to give a little bit of a shadow there at the lash line. All right, it's time to clean up under the eyes. Just going to use a little bit of almond oil to wipe away the excess shadow under the eye, and then also to clean up the corner here. All right, now this is usually the time when you're questioning the decision to add that color on the lower lash line. Hang with me here. Okay, we need some color correction, and I just got this last week. This is the Bobbi Brown corrector, and I'm using the shade Dark Bisque. And I've just been testing this out, but it does have some great color correcting abilities. So what I've been doing is putting this in the darkest areas, and it is quite creamy. So far so good. And then I have been taking either this steel ball or this one from Eco Tools. I think you can still find this one. So I've been taking this and using this under my eyes just as a little extra little cooling treatment and depuffing as I am just smoothing in that color corrector. You don't use any pressure, just let it glide under the eyes, but feels so nice. And then I'll just go and tap a little bit in and then go in with concealer. Yes, we definitely need that. So this is the Clinique WN04 Clinique Even Better Concealer. And I'm just going to add this on the inner corner here. And I know it looks like I'm using a lot. I always say this, but I'm just spreading it out. So it looks like a lot, but you don't want to use a lot, especially if you have more mature under eyes like I do. All right, and then just put a little bit here on my nose and a little bit extra here. And I'll use my foundation sponge here. And then I'll use the Angie Hot and Flashy A506 brush and blend the rest of the concealer in. For contour, one of the easiest is this Kiko Milano Sculpting Touch contour stick, and this is the shade 201. I never remember the name of it. I'll list it down below. I think it's chocolate. But I love this. It's so easy to use. And then I'm using the BK Beauty 107 brush to just blend this into the skin. For me, even though I'm doing kind of overall a lighter look, contouring, just a little bit of contour, well blended, really kind of helps boost my overall mood, because I feel like it slims the cheeks, and if your face is feeling a little extra puffy, this can be a helpful tool just to make you feel a little more like yourself and a little slimmed down. And then I'll put a little here, kind of all of my typical places that I like to contour. I am going to do kind of a two-step cheek color I'll explain in a moment. But first I'm starting off with this Nude Sticks. This is the Nudies Matte, and the shade is Salty Siren. I picked this up in the recent Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale, and I love this shade. And this is a very happy blush shade for me. And I just think it pairs very well with our eyeshadow look. So I'm using the Luxe 522 tapered highlighting brush just to apply that. And blush applied, I think, really helps make the face look alive and fresh, and makes you appear like you're a little more well rested and just having a good day, even if you're not. For highlighter today, I'm going to do a liquid highlighter. This is the Lisa Eldridge Elevated Glow, and it is in Crystal Nebula, I believe, yes. And this is, again, one of those things that not only does it make your skin just glow, but it also lifts the skin. You feel kind of a little bit of a cooling, tightening effect. And I just feel like all of these sensations kind of help with the mood boosting process. So when you feel that kind of cooling, lifting effect on the skin, I think that is also extra helpful. And then you just get this really nice, beautiful glow as well. All right, time to powder. And I'm going to use the Revlon Blot Matte Setting Powder today. And although I'm using this e.l.f. Powder Puff, which is no longer available, the ColourPop Powder Puff also works very well. I'm going to go in with just a touch of that. I really worked it into the powder puff, and just love, look how blurred those pores are. The foundation already does a good job of disguising the pores, but man, with this powder on, those pores become invisible, and that is what I personally love. And then it's also going to help keep everything in place throughout the day. I am going to go ahead and powder a little bit on the cheeks, just lightly over our highlighted area. I'm going to stay away from the top of the cheek, but everything else, because I'm a combination oily girl, I just kind of have to do that. Now, before I set under the eyes, I'm going back with this little roller. I don't even know what they call this. Let's see, under eye roller, even though this doesn't roll. I know, funny, right? And I'm just tapping into or over the creases where the concealer just settled a little bit. And then before it creases, I'm going to go in with, this is the Brightening Pink powder from Jaclyn Cosmetics. Where's my brush? And I'm going to use the e.l.f. Small Tapered Highlighter brush. I think this has been discontinued, unbelievably, but you can use just any kind of light, fluffy brush. My others are all dirty. Yes, it is time for another brush washing activity. But I love, do you see just that extra little bit of brightening that does? Now you want to be careful. If you go too late with your concealer and then add this brightening powder, you might end up looking too light under the eyes and like you have a ring of white. We don't want that. But I feel like this, I mean, I'm feeling like I look like I'm well rested. All right, now we're gonna add a little sun-kissed glow, and this just makes me happy. Just looking at it and how it applies. I know it's completely unnecessary to spend this kind of money on a bronzer, but I think all luxury items are, you know, pretty much could be categorized that way, right? We could do with something better. So if you have Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, another great choice. The smell of that bronzer is delightful. And this one, even though it does have a fragrance, is not offensive at all. It's light enough and dissipates quickly, but it just blends itself. It is the easiest bronzer I've ever applied. And I do have the shade 3. So just FYI. Oh. So you can still see a little bit of that blush peeking through, but I want a little more color and a little more glow. So I'm going in with the Bare Minerals bronzer. This is a new shade to me, and these are back in stock. This is Kiss of Copper. I'm using the E4 from Morphe, and I've only worn this once, but oh, it's just so pretty. Like a kiss of sun in kind of more of the peachier, coppery tones. And copper, don't let that throw you off by making you think it's like super intense or super dark. That's what I was kind of concerned about, but I think it can work on multiple skin tones. Okay, next we're gonna do some brows. Yes, the brows are not my most favorite part of this whole thing, and they're not very therapeutic to do, but we gotta do it, right? So this is the NYX Precision Brow Pencil, and I'm using the shade Taupe. So I'm just gonna do a quick fill in here. Next, I'm gonna set it with the Merit Brow Pomade, and this is the shade Blonde. And I just love how natural this combination makes my brows appear. Makes them look like all of that is my natural brow when it's not. All right, now let's put some mascara on. Now I will tell you, up until about 2 days ago, the only mascara I was using on top and bottom lashes was the Calorie mascara, because this is like no other. It is easy to remove, and yet you can cry and cry and cry, and it does not just run down your face. So this is what I would highly recommend if you're having one of those days. I did order this in a full size. It's on its way. But today I'm going to risk using regular mascara on my upper lashes. So I just started using this Dior Show mascara primer, and I'm really enjoying it already. But this also has lash serum benefits as well. So it has lash growth properties, and it primes the lashes. And I'm gonna add the It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. Okay, as you can tell, I did finish fixing my hair. I also applied a little soft ochre paint pot around the edge of my lips. While that sets, I'm gonna go back and add a little inner corner highlight. Let's go in with this shade right here. We're gonna start with this. We might need to top it with something else, but this is a very, very brightening, kind of glowy highlight shade here. And then let's go back to this shade with the Sigma E30. Let's go right on top of that and just kind of blend that up onto the lid there. Yeah, just gives a little brighter look to the inner corner. We don't want it exactly white, you know? All right, for lip liner, I'm gonna start with the Natasha Denona. This is I Need a Rose lip crayon, and this is the shade Kala. So you can see that's a very neutral, kind of peachy nude shade on me. And then I'm gonna add, this is the Huda lipstick. This is a cream lipstick in Angel. And this on me is this has a lot of pink tones to it. It's a pinky peach. And then gloss always makes me happy. So I'm gonna add a little bit of the Wayne Goss gloss in Hibiscus. All right, so here's our finished look. And overall, I feel refreshed, I feel revived, I feel with that little pop of color on the lower lash line, just that I've added a little bit of fun to my day. Even though I didn't start off feeling like today was gonna be very fun, I feel like my mood has been boosted. And so I hope that this video was helpful for you, whether you're going through a difficult time or difficult season in your life or just having a bad day. I hope that this encourages you and inspires you just to go into your makeup room, sit down at your makeup table, pull out some things that just make you smile and put them on your face, and hopefully it will help just give you that little extra boost that you need for the day. Thank you as always so much for watching. And again, just heartfelt thank you for your love and support. And I know many of you have expressed to me that you are going through a season of loss as well. So just know that my prayers and love are with you as well. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye.